Week 16 of the fantasy basketball season. Here's a few centers I look to sell and trade this week. The first center, Vika Zubac of the Los Angeles Clippers. Another solid year for Zubac, no doubt about it. I believe he's playing a little bit over his head, and with Kawhi Leonard after the All-Star break, I believe his minutes are going to go up. These numbers are going to drop off in terms of scoring the basketball here for Zubac, and maybe the rebounds drop a bit as well. In the year, 15.4 points a game, 12.7 boards, 2.5 assists, 1.1 blocks, and 61% from the field. In the last couple weeks, he's really going off. 17.5 a game, 13.5 boards, 2.5 assists, 1.2 steals, and 63% from the field. So Zubac putting up huge numbers. This Clipper team, though, they've lost 3 out of 4. But like I said, Zubac's been a good player for many seasons for this Clipper team, but he's playing a little bit over his head. Kawhi Leonard, I believe his minutes are going to go up after the break. Bojan Bogdanovic as well, they traded for at the NBA trade deadline. So with those two players in the rotation, I think it's going to take away the ball in Zubac's hands a little bit, where his points per game are definitely going to go down, and field goal attempts, and maybe the rebounds just a bit as well. February 4th versus the Lakers, 8 points, 10 boards, 3 assists, a steal, 28% from the field. February 6th versus the Pacers, 18 points, 15 boards, 2 assists, a steal, 72% from the field. And February 8th versus the Jazz, where we know they're one of the worst teams in the league, he went off 26, 15 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals, a block, 81% from the field. So Zubac, like I said, he's playing great basketball. He's at peak value, but with players returning to the lineup or getting healthier, I just believe his numbers are going to take a little bit of a hit. And right now with a center position that's been up and down all season long, I think he could get a good deal, a one-for-one deal for Zubac, or a good package, 2 lower players who still can help your team for Zubac. Next center, Anthony Davis of the Dallas Mavericks. So Davis, he's going to be out indefinitely with the abductor injury, and it's very unfortunate, and this trade just looks worse and worse every day now for this Maverick team, trading a 25-year-old franchise player for Anthony Davis, who's still an all-star, still a great player, but at 32 years old, and obviously with the injury concerns, and it came to fruition, unfortunately, in his first game with Dallas. So on the year, another monster year it's been, 25.7 a game, 12 boards, 3.4 assists, 1.3 steals, 52% from the field for AD. But like I said, now out indefinitely, who knows when we're going to see him back. And this season is coming to a head quick now, where before you know it, after this All-Star break, it's going to take off and finish is his fantasy basketball season. So Davis, in his debut, only in the first half pretty much, in a little of the third quarter, he went off 26 points, 16 boards, 7 assists, 3 blocks, 2 threes, 55% from the field. To Davis, he's a great player, no doubt about it, but injuries have been a concern for him throughout his NBA career. And now, let's say he misses 3 or 4 weeks. That's pretty much at the tail end of the fantasy basketball season. Then he's got to get his legs under him, and I just don't think it's worth the risk for fantasy owners to hold on to Davis. So right now, you might have to take a discount for him, obviously, but like I said, I don't believe he's going to be a guy to really wait on, where it's going to take him at least 3 or 4 weeks to get healthy, and then his conditioning to get back down for Davis. So with all those factors, if I could get anything of decency in a deal, I would sell him off this week as Anthony Davis, especially if you're a team trying to get into the playoffs, one of those last seeds, and now with one of your best players out, it's going to be tough. So you need availability for those teams in that position, and right now he's not going to be available for a while, so I would sell him off, especially if you're one of those fringe playoff teams in fantasy trying to make the playoffs. In the third and final center, I look to sell and trades Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers. Some more news has come out the other day in that game, where Embiid's going to need another knee surgery in the offseason. So with that in mind, they're 20-32 on the year's Philadelphia. I know they're still going to try to make a playoff push or make the playoffs. And with that play-in, they obviously could get a little bit on a run after the All-Star break and be a 9th to 10th seed and have a chance, or even make the 8th seed and have to only win one game to get in. So on the year for Embiid, 24.8 points a game, 8.3 boards, 4.5 assists, a block, 1.4 threes, and 45% from the field. So Embiid, he's been playing a little bit more since he's returned 3 out of 4 games. We know back-to-backs he can't play. But like I said, if this guy needs a knee surgery and this Sixer team continues to lose, I believe they're going to shut him down. There's no point for Embiid to play in games down the stretch. If they're out of it, is Philadelphia, where they're going to shut him down, and most likely he gets that knee surgery before the end of the season, if that's going to happen with the Sixer team, because now they've lost 5 out of 6 games. They're not playing good basketball at all, and Embiid obviously isn't healthy, so if you could trade him off and get a decent package for him or a one-on-one deal for Embiid, this would be the time to do it. February 4th versus the Mavs, 29 points, 11 boards, 10 assists, a triple-double, a steal, a 352% from the field. February 7th at the Stins, 23 points, 7 boards, 6 assists, 2 blocks, a 338% from the field. And February 9th at the Bucks, 27 points, 12 boards, 6 assists, a steal, a block, 4 threes, 50% from the field. So Joel Embiid, when he plays, he's a great talent, top 10 player in the league, no doubt about it. But he just hasn't been available really, especially the last 2 seasons and this year where he's only played 18 games as Embiid. So like I said, if they're out of it down the stretch here, they're going to shut him down, and he'll most likely go for that knee surgery earlier than waiting for the offseason. So with that in mind, I would sell off Embiid this week, and I still believe you could get an okay deal for him. So that's a few settings I look to sell and trade for week 16 of the fantasy basketball season.